surprise on my birthday with Frostborn from World of Warcraft.
What's that?
It's a giant sword.
Okay.
It is completely unbelievable.
Is it a real one?
It's not sharp because it's rubber.
Yeah. But it's a real, like, live sword.
Yeah.
And you love it?
Oh, yeah.
And if there was an earthquake, is it the thing that you would grab first?
I'm thinking like a this is the end scenario, so yes.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Can you imagine us on the street after an earthquake? I have my remote and I can figure you have a sword. Ready to make a brave new world. What's your name and your guess?
Gordon, and my guess was already taken because it's 13, so I'm going to go with my brother's number who's here, and it's going to be 7.
Where are you from, Gordon?
New Hampshire.
You have loved ones in the audience. Did you drive down here?
Yes, unfortunately.
How long a drive is that?
So it said 4 and it lied. As soon as we got to New York, it became 5.5.
Of course. New York, are we applauding that his trip took too long? Or New York? New York! Thank you, Gordon.
Hi, my name is Emma, and I was wondering if you ever starstruck meeting another celebrity.
All the time. All the time. I never get used to being around famous people, especially, well, I mean, if I'm working with you, it sort of normalizes it, but if you were famous before I got to Hollywood, then I'm like this. And here's the thing, I was at a premiere of a movie that I was in at the Chinese Theater, and my buddy was my +1, and I go outside, and the party's across the street at the Roosevelt Hotel. And so, like, my buddy's like, look, it's Slash. And I'm like, that's George Lopez. And he was like, no, beside him. I was like, that's not Slash. You think George Lopez and Slash just hang out? So I go over to the after party, and George's ex-wife Lydia was there, and I know her pretty well. So I'm talking to her, and she's like, a friend of mine wants to meet you. And I turn around, and he said this, hey, it's Slash, nice to meet you. And she's videoing it, and this is what it looked like. I don't know why I did this. It was so embarrassing. This is what the video looks like. I did this. But it was pretty awful. And when I was shooting the core, I was sitting beside an actress named Alfre Woodard, who I loved when I was a child. She played Bill Murray's secretary in Scrooge, and I loved her when I was little. And so I'm sitting next to her, and my palms are sweating, and she's being. What? What? I've never heard that before. I thought it was a nursery rhyme. So my palms were sweaty. My palms were sweaty, my arms were heavy. Yeah, just like that. Anyway, she sat next to me and she tapped me on the shoulder and she said, my daughter has a crush on you. And I did this. I love you! I did. It was awful. It was awful. And we're still really good friends. What's your name and your guess?
Emma, and number 12.
Did you already guess? Or no, you just told me your name? Thank you, Emma. You didn't win.
So my question is something that you never done before that you'd be down to try? Like skydiving or like
I do most things. I've done a lot of things. I have actually jumped out of a plane before. It's interesting because it's the initial jump is the scariest part. Like once you're up there, it's so high, it's like cartoony in a way. You know what I mean? And also, I kept my eyes closed for a lot of it, and it goes by. I wouldn't recommend that because it's expensive. But I closed my eyes for a lot of it. I've done a lot of things. I bungee jumped before. What do you think? I don't like car fast. I don't like fast cars. That's not my thing. I don't know. What thing is it? I do have an idea for an OnlyFans though, where I get my penis out at major monuments around the world. And I think that's my retirement plan. And so let me tell you what I did with my buddy Theo. So my buddy Theo came to meet me in Paris at the convention there, and I'm terrified of heights. I'm really terrified of them, and so is he. So we made a deal that we would get loaded and go to the top of the Eiffel Tower. And so we get there, and it's so high that we get to the first level, and we think we're at the top. And we're not. And so we stood in line for 2 hours for all the way. There's a second elevator that goes up, and it was a windy day, and the tower sways, right? So we didn't do it. So the next time I was in Paris, we chickened out. He lives in Athens, so we made a deal that we would go there. So we went back to the Eiffel Tower, got loaded, went to the very top, and then I said to him this: it's a local tradition that the first time you're ever at the top of the Eiffel Tower, you have to get your penis out. And so I said, 1, 2, 3, I didn't do it, he did. And then my idea for penises around the world was born. And I was like, that's a good OnlyFans. I will never sell a bread maker at 4:30 in the morning on an info roadshow, but I'll get my penis out if the money's right.
And on that note,
What's your name and your guess?
My name is Julina, and my number is 139.
139, what's your name?
Julina.
Jelena? Okay, you know the number was 145, and Michelle, you won for 142.